having a baby messed up my GI tract. Here Mila is just getting into literally everything. I just finished pumping. We were like sleep training by like 7-8 months. I can't really remember. Starting to sleep a little bit longer. Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's what my belly looks. No, that's a milk mustache. It's been a little over a week and a half since I was able to vlog. I've been a little busy. Last week, or almost like 2 weeks ago, it was Thanksgiving, and then my good friend ended up coming down for like 5 days straight, so I just wasn't able to vlog, but I have tons of updates. I just woke up probably like an hour ago, and like it was like super crazy. As soon as I woke up, I had to like pump. I did a 5-hour stretch on my boobs, so it was like as soon as I woke up, like I didn't, you know, my body just like slept through it. They were like aching. I figured, well, I just went in my room real quick. I'm like, let me grab my camera while I have a second to start the vlog. It's just been like a crazy morning, and I have no idea what I plan on vlogging today. Probably just my day as per usual. I don't like to force myself to vlog. I know like the #1 comment I get on here is how real I keep everything. So that is why I just decided to pick up the camera today and kind of just, you know, I'll bring you along with my day. Me and Mila are currently eating breakfast. I made myself an English muffin sandwich with like a piece of cheese. As per usual, I was rushing to try to just make it really fast because Sebastian was crying a lot. So I just had to like settle him before, so I like kind of messed up my sandwich. And Mila, I made her a piece of toast and she didn't really like it. So I ate her toast, and she's been picking at the egg sandwich. And then I just was like, you know, I'm just gonna make another English muffin with some peanut butter. That's normally what I have in the morning, is a peanut butter English muffin.
Mommy, my egg is...
There's an egg right here, Bubba. We plan on getting our Christmas tree today. It's, I think, December 9th. We try to always get it a little bit later just so it like doesn't die, because we do get a real tree. Well done.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, the main thing I really want to talk about today, in between that, I guess like a week and a half I wasn't able to vlog, I was finally able to go to the doctor. I mentioned in a previous vlog that I had a ton of GI issues, and I went to my OB at first, and he's like, oh, you're fine, you're normal. And then when I went to the GI doctor, one of the #1 things she mentioned, because I said, you know, I never had all these issues, and I'll get into that later on, but it's all revolves around when I was in my prodromal labor for 3 days straight. Pretty much when I was in labor for pretty much 3 days straight and my body was like stuck, it pretty much messed everything up, and I've been having crazy GI issues. So pretty much I have an extremely weak pelvic floor, but like I said, I'm gonna get into that in like a minute. Let me just finish that. So last night I fed him around 8:30, and then he pretty much slept until 4:30. The previous 2 nights, he completely slept through the night, or I guess slept, yeah, pretty much slept through the night. So he did like a 9:30 to 5:30, which was like completely amazing. And I noticed, because last night when we fed him a little bit earlier, he obviously woke up a whole entire hour earlier. So I was starting to wake up around 4:30. I've been trying to feed him this. He doesn't seem too interested. This is the milk I pumped when I first woke up, but I'm gonna probably put him down for a nap because I think he's been on and off awake since 4:30. Because Gino, I was like, Gino, please, I'm like dying. I was like so tired. He came out here, fed him his bottle, and then I think he's pretty much been on and off awake, but he's sleeping right now. Guys, look how big he's getting. He's just like a big chunk. He's officially 3 months old. All of his hair fell out too before, and now I see it starting to come back. I'm really hoping it comes back like super long like it was when he was first born. It was so cute. Okay. Come on, baby.
Come on, baby.
I don't know if I also explained, we officially moved into our addition area. Sebastian's room's still not done. Mila moved into our old bedroom, so that's probably why you see him like walking into a different room. This is like my pump station now too. And also, if you pump during the middle of the night, I recommend getting one of these ice packs. This way you don't have to like get up in the middle of the night and go to your fridge. I used to just leave the breast milk out in the middle of the night with Mila. I'm sure it was fine because I don't know why I just didn't even think of like getting one of those, but this way your milk definitely stays safe. I don't know how well you can hear me right now, but I decided to pull out, I call it a head flat, because he's just starting to sleep a little bit longer. I noticed it was getting a little bit flatter, so these fix it right away. So it was probably 25 minutes that he was sleeping for. I didn't really expect for him to sleep that long because I knew he had to eat, but I'm gonna give him his bottle now, or the rest of like what I was trying to give him. There was about 6 ounces in there, and when I'm looking now, it looks like there's about 3. So yeah, guys, pretty much Sebastian eats every 3.5 hours, and I'm doing the same thing with my boobs too. Like I pump every 3.5 hours now. My last video was my pumping schedule and my nipple was like destroyed. I'm here to say it finally healed. It took like over a week. That was like the most excruciating thing I've ever gone through in my life. And if you're an exclusive pumper or you pump at all and you know what it feels like to have a cracked nipple that's bleeding and blistering, I feel you. I really don't know what I did. I feel like the cream that I was putting on it made it like kind of like worse, and in all honesty I kind of just like left it alone. I still pumped it, but I think it was just like that thing that time kind of healed it, unfortunately. But I think what happened with that was my suction was just too strong or something like that. I recently started to have my suction a little bit less stronger, and I noticed my nipples are way less sore. I read an article that like you would think that the stronger your pump is sucking, that the more milk you would yield, but it actually said it doesn't work that way. And I was like, you know what, maybe I'm doing that. Maybe I'm like destroying my own nipples by just having the suction way too strong. So I decreased it a lot. I noticed it was obviously less painful and my milk was still coming out. So, and I also massage my boobs too when I'm pumping. You would think I would know that, being that this is my second baby and my second pumping journey, but you live and you learn. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, your flange sizes. I use a 24 at the moment. I tried using smaller and I just don't, I think it was just like too small. So yesterday and the day before, I was just like curious to see if he would like suck on my boob. He still knew how to do it and he like got some out of it, but it was not like, I don't count it feeding anymore. Maybe I'll do it here and there for like comfort or like soothing or something, but again, I'm just doing it for whatever's easier for us. He can only suck on the one side because my other nipple is just way too inverted and just even gives me problems with the pump, obviously. I love watching their mouth like suck. It's so cute, like his little like tongue. So you guys also know I have this new bassinet. I'm also trying to not wean him from it, but I do definitely have to start thinking of it now that he's 3 months old. I think we started crib training Mila when she was like 7 months old. We were like sleep training by like 7-8 months. I can't really remember. When it comes time to that, don't like think like, okay, your baby hit 6 months, they have to start sleep training or whatever. I really think it revolves on like your baby's signal and like how you feel and everything, because I definitely want him in the room till he's at least 6 months, unless I notice he's ready before then. But some things I decided to try doing was I'm not having this new like rock him as much anymore. And the other day, just like for a nap, I put him in Mila's crib without a swaddle or anything. He actually fell asleep for about like an hour and a half. So I'm gonna start slowly doing things like that, get him just like used to like a crib and like kind of like being unswaddled. I don't know if I'm gonna actually like not always use a swaddle, but even if we don't use a swaddle, it might probably be better. That's what I'm doing right now, just slow and steady. But again, like I said last night, he had a little bit later of a feeding, so he ended up waking up a whole hour earlier, which made sense, but don't, you know, try not to compare your baby to mine. All babies are completely different, but I'm just starting to slowly do some steps like that for hopefully he'll start just sleeping through the night more, and you know, we all start getting good. I'm also down to pumping only once a night. I am comfortable now doing a 5-hour stretch. I wouldn't recommend doing long stretches like that until your milk is established. Like, I 100% know my milk is established now that I'm 3 months postpartum, so I kind of can get away with that right now. Now that's a milk mustache. You feel better, Sebastian? Yeah. So I'm just trying to burp Sebastian right now, and I hear Mila is just getting into literally everything. But you know what, sometimes I just let her get into whatever she's getting into. If it means me and Sebastian can get some alone time, which, you know, again, having 2 kids is way different than having 1. You just don't really get like that one-on-one time, obviously. A lot of times I just feel like I'm like super busy trying to do like 1,000 things, and I always have like guilt that I don't give him enough attention, so whatever. I'll just go out and pick up a big gigantic mess. Alright, so I'll report back later. I think I have to check my timer. I have no idea where my phone is. I think I have to probably pump in like 45 minutes. But yeah, I'll update later. I'm also finally going to bring him to the pediatrician in about a week to see how much he weighs. Also mentioned again in a different vlog that I had a ton of insurance issues, but finally we will be going to the pediatrician. But I know he's super healthy, thank God. You know, he's my second baby, or else I'd be freaking out. But I know he's hitting like a ton of milestones. I feel like he's almost progressing a little bit quicker than Mila did. But then again, he's a boy, and I feel like he's just like a little bit stronger. One of the best times when I get both kids down and I'm able to pump in peace. Oh, man, this entire morning I feel like I've just been running since the second I woke up. I feel like most moms obviously can relate to that, but it's just been like, it's already 10 in the morning. I kind of was up at like 4 or 5 in the morning, and then before I know it I look at the clock and it's already 10 o'clock. Alright, so I just finished pumping. I only pumped for about like 17 minutes. Sebastian had a blowout earlier. You probably don't want to look at poop, but the second, like, say he does like poop in an outfit, immediately just make sure it doesn't dry. Like, just make sure it's wet. So I have to like get into that and clean that. I'm just gonna explain what happened to my GI tract and what happened and everything, because it is 100% because I had a baby. I never had these issues before. I probably brought this up almost 2 months ago, and what I mean, like, by 2 days postpartum, I noticed something was wrong. Like, okay, it could be very normal to not have regular bowel movements right after you give birth, but I remember when I gave birth with Mila, it was like the next day. Like, it never like went irregular, or like I had like weird sensations, like I had to go to the bathroom but like just like couldn't. So with her it was completely normal. Like, I just didn't have those issues. Obviously I had like hemorrhoids with her, but it just, once I healed, everything else healed, and I never had this issue. So once I had him, obviously I had hemorrhoids. I mentioned that in my 48 hours with the newborn or hospital video, and just mentioned how it was like scary to like go to the bathroom for the very first time. But I went, but I noticed it took, I think it was like 2 days. And I remember like I felt the sensation like I had to go, but I was like scared, whatever. Anyway, when I got home is when I noticed, like, you know, usually I go to the bathroom every single morning, and I noticed like it felt like I had to go to the bathroom, but I just didn't want to strain it. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I just have to heal more, whatever. And as time went on, like, I just kept noticing that I would have trouble going to the bathroom. Like, I felt like I had to go to the bathroom. I would sit to try to go, but I just couldn't go. And then obviously because I wasn't going to the bathroom, it then would build up. Obviously I would get tons and tons of gas and tons of bloating, and it was extremely, really, really painful. And I even got to the point where like say a few weeks down, I'd be going to the bathroom and it just wasn't feeling like I was fully empty. And I'm not being gross, I'm just being honest, just in case anyone else does end up going through this, because this has been extremely hard to deal with, and I've Googled it so many times. You don't really hear much about it, but it can happen. But don't think it's going to happen to you if you're like pregnant and you haven't had your baby yet, because like I said, it didn't happen the first time. This is like a very weird thing that happened to me. Anyway, I'm now 3 months postpartum and I'm still struggling with very, very bad bloating. I don't really have the gas that often, but it's really, really bad bloating, and just always the sense that I'm not fully empty, even though I'm going to the bathroom every single day. And I'm just being real, it's like a lot. It's not like a pebble, like it's a lot, and I just always feel like I'm not fully empty. It's just like probably the best term. So anyway, I went to my OB and I mentioned what happened, like, is this a postpartum thing? He's like, no, you're fine, but I can feel you have pretty bad ab separation, you have a hernia, and I also could feel when he like checked me, he's like, I could feel your colon is very, very full. And I'm like, okay, like at least I'm not just like making it up. Like I can, like, he actually felt everything inside me. Anyway, fast forward, I finally went to a GI doctor. And the first thing she started asking me, she's like, how was your delivery? You know, I know you're like 12 weeks postpartum. I'm like, my delivery was absolutely great and everything. I only ended up pushing for like 15 minutes, but I needed the vacuum to get him out. But I was like, but I was in labor for almost 3 days late. I had like prodromal labor or prolonged labor. When it all started, it was a Wednesday night when I was getting very crazy contractions. They were always like 8 to 10 minutes apart for 3 days straight. And I ended up having Sebastian Saturday afternoon. I ended up going to the hospital one time as like a false alarm, but triage, they're just making sure to see if I'm in labor or not. And I feel like my contractions like weirdly died down. And when I tell you, after what I just went through, you really think it's time, and then it just goes away. Like I was in full-blown pain. It hurt. My contractions were coming every 3 to 4 minutes. If you've never had it, it's like, and it feels like strong period cramps. And this is what I've been feeling for 3 days straight now. Prodromal labor, but he like mentioned, what do you say, babe?
It's a prolonged, I can't remember whatever he said, but like the first stage, but just stuck in it.
Yeah,
not
for
stuck
like
in it, but just taking a long time to move on.
Yeah. Whatever, you can look back on those vlogs, but she said because of that, because of the prodromal labor, prolonged labor, and him just sitting at like a station -1 or a station 0, like sitting in my pelvis, it literally like damaged my muscles so severely, which makes sense as why I feel like sometimes I try to go to the bathroom and it's just like even sucks back up because my muscles are just so weak. Or if, just being honest, if I pass gas, I pee my pants. Sometimes I just notice even after I'm done peeing, I'll get up and I still pee my pants like all the time. It's just, everything is just very, very weak. And she's like, I don't think this is like a chronic thing that you're going through. I think it's just temporary, and honestly, your body just needs to bounce back. So she gave me another doctor to go to, which is like physical therapy, to try to like fix everything down there. But guys, yeah, still this day I still have hemorrhoids because it's just, I'm always straining. I still, even like last night, had really, really painful bloating, felt like I couldn't fully empty out. Still to this day, I actually this morning got lucky, but she for now put me on taking Metamucil every single day. She's like, try not to take laxatives every single day, because that's what I would be doing. Anyway, it was just a big, big mess. But all in all, having a baby messed up my GI tract. That is a thing. And unfortunately, I just need to strengthen my muscles again, strengthen everything back down there. So don't ignore it like I was, like literally like 2 months straight. I ignored it, just hoping it would get better and I would just be doing all these things. But I am pretty thankful to think like I don't have like a chronic condition. It really is just because I had a baby. But guys, it is super, super rough some days. Like I really wish I could vlog more, but the days where I'm like honestly in like agony isn't even like the word. Like some days I can't even like pick up Mila to change her diaper because my stomach hurts that bad, or even like hold or touch Sebastian. Like when you're in so much pain, you just don't want to be like touched. And then I'm pumping, and then sometimes I have like problems with my nipples. Anyway guys, that is my postpartum update. I'm really hoping it gets better. I mean, I feel like some days it like is better, but some days it just isn't. I wish I could like really try to show you where you can see like my abs being like separated, but they're still separated. I'd say that's like a 2-finger like length. But yeah, I don't know. Well, that's what my belly looks like. It pretty much is like back to normal besides the ab separation, but I literally just have no time to work out either, so it is kind of just like a vicious cycle. But yeah, guys, that's what I've been going through lately, and just pray for me that it does get better. And I'm just, you know, I don't know, trying to like look at it that it could be worse, but I really do have some pretty bad days. Sebastian now woke up. I'm about to give him 5 ounces or so. That was that milk that I pumped before, but I have to be really quiet because Mila is still sleeping, and because if she like wakes up too early from her naps, then she'll be like really cranky for the rest of the day, which we don't want that. Her naps have been getting a little bit more regular. I don't call them naps anymore to her. I say, do you want quiet time? Some days when I can tell that she's like super tired, I'm not gonna just like put her in there. I'll be like, okay, you let me know when you want your quiet time, or I tell her, I'm like, do you want quiet time yet? And she'll either be like yes or no. But lately she's been kind of just telling me whenever she's ready. She usually wakes up around, unfortunately, 5:30 in the morning, and I notice around like 9:30, 10 she's ready for a nap. Sebastian's just like smiling at me. Are you ready? Yeah. Are you ready for your milk? And also, I've been practicing with him to constantly strengthen like his back and his neck. He is 3 months old, like I said before, but you do, or if you can, just always try your best. It doesn't hurt them to like always get their neck stronger and their back stronger. I notice sometimes he doesn't really like tummy time, so I just do this just to make sure his head doesn't get flat too, and just to get his neck to be stronger. He's all wobbly still, but he's doing better. I do try to feed him a little bit more frequent and more often during the day now that I'm trying to get him to stop feeding during the night. I feel like it's been like a week since I've actually gave him any milk during the night, and so far he's doing pretty good with it. Now obviously I wouldn't ignore him if he was like crying and crying and crying for hours on end. I would give him milk, but like honestly when he cries out, it's only like 10 to 20 seconds. But for instance, last night it was like repeated, like he wouldn't go back to sleep, so I knew he was ready for some milk. Mila wants pumpkin pie. So guys, here's an update. It's 3 o'clock. I still haven't showered. I just fed Sebastian. I pumped like an hour and a half ago, and now I'm trying to prep together dinner. And on top of it, I really need to freeze all of this milk to keep it in the fridge longer than 24 hours, just because I don't know, I just don't like to. Mila's just entertaining Sebastian right now, right baby? Oh, be careful though, okay? Yeah. I feel like I always show this, but I'm just making a chicken. I need to cut up the garlic for it and like make like the butter spread that I put over it. And I'm making quinoa and brown rice, and I'm probably just gonna saute some of this spinach because it's starting to wilt pretty much. We're not like eating right now, but this is what I usually do. I start to like prep everything earlier in advance, because probably by the time I am ready to eat and everything, I'm going to have to pump and then feed him and everything. Everything's just like, I'm pretty much on like a clock, and on top of it, we're getting our Christmas tree tonight. So yeah, I kind of feel like I have to hurry, and I still don't know when I'm actually going to end up showering. And I didn't get dressed today either. Honestly, 99% of the time, this is what my days look like. Chicken, oh my god. The chicken has about 2 more minutes on the one heat setting, and then it's gonna bake for about another hour. I have to then pump in like an hour, and we're gonna quickly run out and get the Christmas tree. Good thing that the tree farm is like literally right up the street. Right, I still have to put Mila's shoes on, and Sebastian's all locked in right now. I just have to get him a blanket. He hates being inside the car seat. Okay, come on, sweetie, we gotta put your shoes on, okay? And your socks.
Put the
The oven's about to go off at any second. And your jacket, right, Bubba?
Yeah.
Gino's about to walk in too. Ow, finger. Hey.
They are on right this time.
Yeah, Mommy, put the food on.
Oh, mommy put them on. That's why they're on the right foot.
Yeah, Mommy, you look for it.
Jacket time.
Okay.
Are you ready to get a treat?
So guys, it is the next day. I didn't end up picking up the camera again because as soon as we got home, I had to like take the chicken out of the oven and we all ate dinner and then we cleaned up, and then before we knew it, it was like bath time and everything like that. Once we also got home and like put the tree up, we only just put the lights on. I'll show you what it looks like. So there's our tree. It's a real tree, like I said. We only just like put up the lights and like the little star, and we're gonna decorate probably the rest of it today. And then here was like that little one that we had sitting here. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. I have to like find a place. But yeah, I pretty much just wanted to end the vlog because I wasn't able to, but that's pretty much my 3-month postpartum update. All the stomach issues, how Sebastian's doing and everything. I'm like editing the vlog and I was saying how he like slept through the night when last night he was up like 1,000 times, but it's to just be expected at this point. But that's pretty much all I'm gonna have for this video, and I'll probably have way more updates again once I vlog again, but I will see you guys in the next vlog.